I'm starting my own stream. I'm streaming your stream.
Hello!
Hello, Internet. Welcome, everybody. Talking about streams. If you want to see Uzumeka, go over to his channel and just tell him that you don't care about his life problems. God, what a way to start. Hello, everybody. How has your week been? I thank you for putting that up, Tide Runner, but you haven't updated it to include Uzu.
Yeah, no, I forgot the code.
So, how is everybody? How's everybody's weeks been? Are you doing well? All that jazz. So, yeah, it is. Oh.
Hey, first timer. Oh,
No,
never mind.
do you want to
Never mind.
block them? We love a good chat.
Shut the fuck up, Carpet. The people are trying to talk about how badly they want to hear about my problem.
Carpeted deformity. Jesus.
Gone.
The form on these nuts, Carpet.
Thank you. How is everybody?
How art thou?
I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you're having a great week. We are here for the way that we usually are every week for our weekly streamed session, Dungeons and Dragons session of State of Anarchy, in which we have a group of wonderful, intrepid explorers who are searching the depths of Feywild, which is the Feywild of my world. Hopefully this session heading to a lake. Sorry, I'm just watching my cat, making sure I'm not about to be unplugged. Because that's all we would need. So, how about you guys? How's your weeks been? Anybody got any updates or anything they would like to share?
Am I allowed to talk about my week from hell?
If you can give us the cliff notes in brief.
Oh, quick clip note. My favorite burrito shop, cancelling my burrito. My favorite energy drink, cancel. Thomas, too much Riz. I'm just sad constantly.
Well, I hope you are gonna hopefully do better and, actually get to enjoy the rest of your
So chat's on my side. They reckon they relate to these real world problems, Tegan, and they're really glad that you let me talk.
Yeah.
Nah, that looks like a bot. I'm just going to time him out for a sec. Hang on.
What about everybody else? What about you guys? Anybody else? No? Yes?
Yeah, no, I'm doing good. Exploring some new employment opportunities.
Oh, exciting.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, what sort of employment opportunities?
Secret ones that I cannot discuss in public.
Oh my god, you're going to be a CIA agent?
Interesting.
That's not in Australia.
Well, that's why it's a secret.
That would make him an American operative and therefore a traitor to Australian causes.
Can you blame him? They're cancelling my favourite burrito and my energy drink. Look, I'm ready to defer at this point.
I mean, what is your energy drink of choice?
I love the citrus ghosts. They fill me with lemon lime, just deliciousness. It's the only energy drink I drink, and it's cancelled.
I think I just realised that you're Pac-Man.
Blue screening turned off my mic, so I've been talking. I'm like, man, everybody else is being dickheads, completely talking over and ignoring me.
I'm sorry, we couldn't hear you. Is your mic now? Well, a mic is working.
This is my proper mic. Does it sound terrible?
It sounds godly. It's got an echo to it.
You do have a bit of an echo. But
I'm here for it. I support it.
That's not bad.
Sebastian's gone to godhood.
Sounds
like my conscience talking.
Yeah, tell me what I should do.
Well, all I can do is unplug it and plug it back in and see if that fixes anything.
You can check the settings.
Yeah, we're happy to wait. We can wait.
Or make sure that your Discord is connected to the right mic, because sometimes it might be on your laptop mic.
How can we delete that?
Yeah, May hits us with the IT specialist. Let's go.
All right, I've done all I can do.
Okay.
Okay.
Sweet.
Have you tried crying for 5 to 10 minutes?
So
Tech time with Breeze.
So unfortunately, at the moment, we don't have the delightful Valcor. He has some family stuff going on, I believe. So He may join us later, may not, we shall see. So at the moment, we are down a Rick and we are down a Crisis, which, if I remember correctly, where we left off at the end of last session, Crisis was having a crisis. So
I feel like last session was just one big crisis. Crises.
Crises. That's
We
why
had 2 crises.
I
last session, though.
believe that's why last session was called Crises. No, Crises, I believe.
Say that 10 times fast.
Oh, I wish I could.
Crisis.
Okay, is there anything you can't do?
Oh my god.
Whistle. I can't whistle.
What?
Okay.
I can't whistle. Never been able to whistle.
I don't know why I sounded surprised. I can't either.
Your lips together and blow.
Oh, we will not bring Peppa Pig into this. Everyone knows that Bluey is the far superior kids show.
Well, one's a dog and one's a fucking pig. What do you expect? Blue healers for life. Also, Bandit is just dad goals.
I completely agree. I think Bandit's a wonderful dad. However, we're not here for Bluey. We are here for State of Anarchy. While Zegent is figuring out their mic situation, which hopefully, fingers crossed, it won't.
You guys still don't hear me? Like,
We can hear you.
well, it's as fixed as it's gonna be. I don't know what else I would do.
Okay, no problems then. That is A-okay. So, as we can see, Blake has also learned how to emote in Roll20.
What can I say? Art imitates life.
I feel so weird on the top row by myself.
Yeah, you're just isolated all by yourself.
All by yourself.
All around her, you can see the enemy she has slain.
All
They
around
disappear.
you are just empty boxes.
Top row, what?
Okay,
This feels personal.
so quick recap. Does anyone actually remember what happened last week? Mostly shenanigans. I believe Breeze now has a squishmallow pet.
We don't know. We haven't established yet, really. We got on the moths. Me, Blake, and Sebastian all flew into the moon. Well, we went to a temple where we met other Crisis, who was super into me and gave me a knife and talked a bit about the Crisis that we know is actually a reincarnation of a past Crisis or something.
It got real weird, man.
And he's forgotten stuff, and she's waiting for him. She can't. Afterlife, and yeah. And then Blake was a dick, and Crisis got angry, and then Crisis and Sebastian chatted, and it was all like, ooh, they both have like passengers or something, and it's like,
It got real weird,
yeah.
didn't it? And then Rick somehow managed to succeed on a nat 20 roll to lift Crisis, and everyone's like, what is this jacked raccoon?
Raccoon's got game.
Yeah, the raccoon's got game. However, I believe that we did get everyone into the car,
Yes.
headed back to the campsite. We were going to fast travel, but I believe Sebastian wanted to have some chats before everyone
Yep.
went to sleep.
Oh.
A little bit.
Okay. All right, you pull up at the campsite. You pull up at the campsite and re-establish a fire. And yeah, you start to settle down for the evening to rest, recuperate, regather. Well, no one's actually injured or anything. Any spells, I suppose, things like that. Any preparation that anyone wants to do for the next day that they can't do in a moving vehicle. So yes, what would everyone like to do?
Well, also left.
Yeah, James has nicked off somewhere.
Yes.
He's got the best timing. All right. Yeah. So Sebastian pops out of the car, and as we're all setting up our collective bedrolls and stuff like that, he'll pop over Breeze. Hey, Breeze?
Sebastian?
I just wanted to offer you this, as he pulls out this big bundle from the car that was attached to his back that looks to be like the pieces of a tent, currently disassembled. I wanted to offer if you wanted to use this tent, since you are the only fair maiden here, it only makes sense that you might need some privacy.
She cringes. She cringes a little bit. No, it's fine. You can have the tent. This fair maiden can rough it like the rest. You know what? Who might need it? Harsa, because he's very delicate.
Fair enough. I mean, if you want me
Well,
to...
you know, you can have it. Yeah.
I suppose I'll have it all to myself then.
Is this because I let you stay in my room the other day?
Well, partially. I did think it only fair that I show you a bit of my own hospitality.
You should have led with that rather than calling me a fair maiden.
Well, I didn't mean any offense by that.
Well, good night.
Well, if you want to pass on luxury tent, then I suppose I'll just have to use it myself.
Nodding at you. Mm-hmm. So you're still standing here. Do you need help setting it up?
If you wouldn't mind.
Oh, she didn't think he'd say yes. Okay. So she helps him set up his tent.
Okay, have either of you set up a tent before?
In real life, yes.
No.
The player or the character?
The character. Clearly.
She went glamping once. We established that last session.
Yeah, but weren't you very particular with the fact that you spawned a mansion to live in while camping?
Yeah.
Yes.
I respect it.
So, yes,
respect the hustle.
has either Breeze or Sebastian actually put up a tent before?
No.
Okay, so I would like a check from both of you then. This would just be... I suppose this is either a survival or a sleight of hand, let's be honest. They're both dexterity kind of based things.
Well, who wants to be helping who? I'm helping Breeze then.
Because you think Breeze
give her
is the
a pat on the shoulder for her guidance.
Oh, so...
Well, look, I mean, she just rolled, so I'll give her the help action while we're sitting at the tent.
Oh, and the help action. So let me do
you
that.
roll again, so yeah.
No, but he also gave guidance, so...
Yeah, no, that's fine. You get to roll again because he's helping, so advantage. Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
I'm the fucking best at tents, guys.
I chose the absolute best person.
Just snaps their fingers and the tent walks itself up and assembles itself.
I'm like, come on now. Every bit where it's lagging, I'm like, come on.
Breeze,
none of that. And
yes. Sebastian hands you the tent, like looking at you, and as you're both looking at the tent, you realize that... Hey, mate, I mean, neither of you have put up a tent before, so you're looking at it. But Breeze, after a minute, you start to realize that, the pegs have spiked ends on either end, that one end must go into the ground, and then the actual... You figure out where all the grommets go and the ropes, and you manage to figure everything out. And as the front starts to slope, you're like, there are ropes connected to it. And you actually manage to put up a tent.
And have you ever put up a tent? Where are the grommets?
Yes, I have put up a tent. It depends. Which type of tent are we talking about? There are usually grommets
What's a grommet?
I don't think you know what a grommet is, Tegan.
First of all, grommets in terms of dressmaking, clothing making, Uzu, if you don't know because you've never possibly seen a corset, are the little metal rings.
The ringlet.
No, it's not. It's called a grommet
Oh.
in dressmaking and
A
things.
grommet is really because
Yes.
a grommet is like a rubber ring that you pass wire through when you put it in the body of a vehicle or through a wall.
Funny.
Anyway, I nail making
You
this tent.
nail making
Yep.
a tent,
And-
Breeze, and you stand back looking at a perfectly erected tent.
Heh.
Don't be a child.
Yeah, Sebastian will talk Breeze a little bit while we're building it, I suppose.
And then
I
Wow,
love
you're
the.
really
I
good
love
at
the.
this.
I love the
and
fact
then this is here.
for everyone watching. So, Hasa and Blake, you and your clone are watching as well. Crisis and Rick, I assume, are settling down against their bedrolls and things like this, but they're watching as Breeze is pottering around putting up this tent as Sebastian's holding like a rope when he's instructed to hold a rope, but he's not. He's kind of more engaging in conversation. He's helping.
He just.
I mean, my help action got the natural 20, so thank you very much.
Exactly. You're helping. As I said, you are helping. It's very hard to put up a tent but with as one person. You are helping.
Mm-hmm. Breeze, you're really good at this.
Why, thank you. I'm usually good at most things I try.
That is what you've demonstrated so far.
Mhm.
I wanted to touch base with you a little bit, since it's been a rather hectic few days. Just wanted to make sure you're doing okay.
Why wouldn't I be? I got a cool knife.
Well, I don't know about you, but I've never been, up until recently, in life or death combat. And I got the sense that neither had you. So I just wanted to make sure you were handling things.
Do you think that was life or death?
Well, I doubt the corrupted unicorn and the whack-whacks and the sturges were going to stop once we'd been beaten into unconsciousness.
Oh. I suppose a part of me just didn't really think that we were in real danger, but I suppose, yeah, maybe I'm just not thinking about it. Perhaps it'll come crashing down on me in a few days and I'll have a full panic and go running off into the lake or something. But sorry, what just happened?
Rick
That
woke
was
up.
right.
Oh, okay.
Wild raccoon
Um,
appears.
He's sleeping. He's curled up and he's sleeping next to the fire. His tail curled around him. His trench coat tucked over his head. He did not.
I mean,
wait for the
it's what
tent.
people do, isn't it? They go out into the world and they experience danger and they overcome it. That's what I've read.
And say I've been having quite a bit of fun.
Really?
Yes.
Even with that weird thing that happened to you?
Weird thing.
You know, when you stayed in my room and
That's. Well, I want to make this clear. I had plenty of fun sharing a room with you, but yes, that is the one unfun part of this adventure so far.
And,
Nothing to be worried about. We all have our burdens to bear.
and what are you going
He's
to do about it?
raised a sideways glance. I'm going to fix it, of course.
Well, if you need any help, hopefully I can help you as well as you help me construct this beautiful tent. And she somehow decorated it a little bit, so it's just kind of it's prettier now.
You've managed to get some nice vines and plants and make it look pretty. Yeah. No one knows where you pull them from, but it also has like fairy lights.
That one is poison ivy. Careful, as he's walking past.
Well, with people like you by my side, I imagine fixing my mistake is going to be very easy.
Well, if you want to talk more about your mistake, of what exactly that mistake was, I would be grateful to hear it.
Well, what about you, Breeze? You made any mistakes?
No, not really.
Really?
Really.
Hensley stares. All right.
I never learned how to whistle, actually. Funny thing about me.
Really?
Yeah, uh-huh.
And yet you're so good with your voice and this tent and everything else you had so far, and you can't whistle?
It's my greatest failing. In fact, I should go to bed and ponder it, reflect on it.
Well, it's a pity you won't be using this beautifully set up tent for
How big is the tent, by the way?
that. About what I've drawn on the map. You can see that. It's supposed to be like a two-person tent because the original idea was buying it for Sebastian and Asa.
Ah, okay. Um, no, it's okay. Like I said, Elsa has a very delicate constitution, I think, and he's not used to this slamming it. Perhaps he should share the tent
Oh,
with you.
Splinter!
You look across and Hasa has pulled out a little metal stand with a glass beaker sitting on top of it and has siphoned some coals over, and you can see that he's kind of digging around in some twigs and branches and everything before he pulls out a hand, apparently with a splinter.
Well, I think in lieu of perhaps sharing it with you, I might prefer to have it to myself. Wouldn't want to scare
Good night,
anyone
sir.
else with my issue.
It's only scary because it's so unknown. If you were maybe willing at some point to talk about it, I think, well, at least I could handle it better.
Are you sure? It's quite a scary ghost tale.
I'm sure. When you're ready, of course.
Well, I might be ready now.
She sits down.
Hello, can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, the May said that Breeze sits down.
Yep.
Oh,
haven't
yeah, I
interrupted.
definitely cut out for a second then.
Yeah. So yes, Breeze has sat down when you said sharing story.
I would prefer privacy a bit, please. I might be able to trust you, but perhaps not everybody else just yet.
Sorry, guys, I just need a second.
Okay, that's no problem.
No worries.
So if you just want to do something else, because I'm just...
Yeah, no, that's okay.
I have a spell I need to cast.
Okay. Hasa, Blake is over sitting next to you. Sorry, I'll move them off Blake.
Oh, that was my moth.
No, Blake is wearing it as a hat.
It is a nice hat. They're only light.
It's like a giant sun hat, but it's a moth.
The best sort of hat.
Blake, you watch as Hasa pulls out, as I said before, a little metal stand and a glass beaker. With a little shovel, he pulls some coals over to put underneath it and starts pulling out some ingredients. And you watch as he's starting to use he pulls out a leather roll that he unwraps and has all these tiny little implements that are used for measuring, like a small scale, small scoops and things like this, as well as what appears to be a little round box that comes in two pieces, like a lid and a base to it, and things like this, which, for anyone who doesn't know, it's a small little chopper, just so you don't have to get out a full cutting board and stuff like this unless you need to.
Is it one of those choppers you see in the infomercials where they pull the string and it's like a little blade and it's just...
No, it's a slap chop, mate.
Oh, slap chop makes fries instantly. Ta!
No.
Oh.
NutriBullet?
He
No.
pulls out his NutriBullet.
Yeah, you'd be able to find that relatively easy if you watch as he sits back, closes his eyes for a moment. You watch a faint glow come to the bioluminescent markings on his face as all of a sudden he looks out. Hasa, you know that within, I don't know, a minute or two walk, that there is some borage just over under one of the bushes just behind you, up the slope a little bit. Or not.
Oh, geez, I was summoned right as you started talking. Okay.
Yes, so
You
know
you
that
found your shit.
you know that there's some borage probably about a minute behind you up the slope in the dark forest.
Awesome. Hasa takes a deep inhale. You see the strange, almost always dull and barely noticeable, but now these veins of strange, dull, like cyan veins almost glow under his skin. He opens his eyes and
I
Blake,
rest my hand. Come on, buddy. I'll come with you. Don't stress.
thank you. All right.
Do you want me to bring the moth? It glows.
Sure.
All right, Mothy, let's go.
And yeah, I'll go collect as much as I can.
On this black and green glowing moth, you see that Blake's tied a little bit of vine, like a leash.
Balloon or a leash, yeah.
He's coming with me whether he likes it or not.
Just spin him around like one of those fucking whirly tube things.
He's a wicky wappy waveling arm flailing tube man.
So the pair of you, Hasa, right on the edge of the firelight, where there's a bit of an opening for you to move into the trees and whatnot. You can feel as you step into the darkening forest that it drops in temperature considerably. It's not unpleasant. It is still the spring court, but you do feel that coolness that night seems to bring with it, that there's kind of like a seeping moisture as the temperature has dropped and all of this warm air has been trapped underneath the canopy. As you breathe in, it does smell a bit different, the forest here, than it does at home. First of all, it's significantly sweeter here due to the proximity to the candy hills and things like this. But where you are from, it's slightly more jungle-like, being a bit more tropical, rainforesty kind of. So there is I suppose in some ways that you could see that as a blessing or a curse, that it is different but also similar. But as you step away from the fire and just the gentle murmurings of your companions, you and Blake and Mothy step into the quiet shroud of the forest, where all of a sudden your senses come alive to every small snap of a twig, every rustle of a tree, as you can hear a large animal move some distance away, but you can hear it moving through the foliage, displacing the trees. You can hear it.
As soon as we left like the furthest reach of the firelight, Blake would see that Hasa immediately got out both his light dagger and he's got his collapsible baton in the other hand.
He's ready to beat someone.
I've never asked. I know that you're uncomfortable in the forest, but is it the dark or is it the forest in general?
It's more about the forest, but the dark means more places for things to hide.
Okay, so you don't. I'm gonna. If we're scared of the dark, we can. I can do something about the dark. I'm sure.
Yeah, it's the dark itself is not a concern. I've been in the dark before. It's more a forest is already filled with places to hide. When it's dark, there are more of them.
Well, I don't think you really have to stress too much. It's. I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff going on around here, but look, if anything jumps out, I'll fight it, and you can run back to camping at the others. I'll die on this hill for you, buddy. Don't stress.
Well, I appreciate the offer, Blake. I am not one to run.
Are you going to tell me the big crab thing again?
If it is the preferred option, I do have other available.
Is that the biggest one?
Oh, good. No, definitely not.
So I can get uppies from something bigger, is what you're telling me.
Most likely, yes.
I'm glad to hear your chuckle. It's good to. It's good you can relax a little bit in this spoopy forest.
It is quite unnerving.
It's all right. We'll get what we need. We'll get out. In and out. 2 seconds. Done.
Do you, as we're walking, do you remember the description of this creature that I forget? Was he there with the retired dude?
No,
Retired
he was
adventurer in
not.
the previous town?
You haven't actually explained to him what you said because you met Blake after that. Because the fight with
would
the
I
Whack-Wacks was
remember?
after that.
Okay, would I remember what he said? Because player doesn't, but character might. Like about what exactly it seemed to come from and shit. Like I feel like there was mention
no
of
one.
feral.
He didn't. He said he couldn't. He couldn't give you a description. He said that it had eyes, lots of eyes, and then it seemed to look at his companions, and he managed to escape, but then they were just gone.
Oh, the old eye guy.
Yes, I'm not entirely sure what we're running into, but I feel like I should prepare for every eventuality. All that our informant said was that it had a lot of eyes. The only creatures that I can think of are those legends that you hear about things like beholders and such.
But everything with a lot of eyes has the same weakness. Hella sensitive to being poked in the eyes or blinded.
That's very true. I might need to look at something to cause blindness. But for the time being, help
The glitter
against
bombs.
the elements.
They were pretty bright. Surely enough of those will pack a bit of a punch.
Oh, absolutely. I have some recipes for flash grenades as well, so
I kind of want a flash grenade, if I'm being honest here.
yeah, if we get the ingredients, I might be able to whip one up for you.
Well, you let me know what you need help with, because we're sort of in it together at this point, so I can't be a nuisance the entire time.
You are anything but, my friend.
Oh, you like me.
Alright, how much can we find?
Well, with Blake distracting you, you actually managed to ignore the fact that you're out in the forest and there might be anything out here. And you managed to get, 2 good handfuls of borage.
Alright, and is that good enough for just 2 uses, or is 2 handfuls multiple uses, or?
2 handfuls, it would depend on how much you're making, but we'd say it's probably about 4 uses. So
Alright.
You've probably got like 2 cups, and you would need to use about half a cup for each recipe.
Okay, gotcha. Cool.
I forgot to mention, Hasa.
Yes?
When we were on our adventure in the, I don't know if it's the spirit world or whatnot, I grabbed a vial of water. Do you want that? Is there anything you can really do with that?
I mean, if it's just water, it can be used in all manner of things, but if it has some kind of special property, I might be able to look into that.
Because it dried up when when the lights went out, so I don't know if that's important in any way.
As in, the water you collected disappeared?
No, the other water did. Like the source, the main source disappeared.
Okay.
Actually, I haven't looked in my water bottle. Has it disappeared, God?
It doesn't appear to be. It is still sloshing around in there.
It feels full. It feels full.
Right, fair enough. Yeah, I can definitely give it a look. Perhaps when we are in a little safer area.
Alright, let's head on back. We've got what we need.
Yes.
Do you want to run? Will it make you feel better if we run?
No, I feel like we should be okay. It's just unnerving.
Do you want to play I Spy?
Sure.
I spy with my little eye something beginning with M.
Is it a moth?
God damn it, you're good at this. Well, it's your turn now.
I spy with my little eye something beginning with M.
Is it also the moth?
Ah, you're good as well.
We can go on for hours, Teagues.
You start making your way back to the fire with the borage that you wanted.
Nice.
Crisis is still
Alright,
sleeping it off in the back of the car.
Alright, so for reference, just so I'm not the only one thinking of this, after a bit of preparation, we have 4 uses of an hour of cold resist.
There you go. For anyone that needs that or needs to know, you'll need to remind them, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I figure.
Yes. Breeze, are you back? Are you back?
Yes. So when he says the privacy thing, I will stand up and say, "Oh, I mean, of course."
So as they both like go to approach the tent, now Breeze, I think Breeze is somewhat perceptive. So she's seen that for like the last couple days, Sebastian's been cool as a cucumber, like, super cool, even in the face of like life-threatening danger and being covered in the blood of like innocents who are screaming from the whack attack, and etc., etc. But he takes a step towards the tent and goes to open the flap, and for a moment that coolness just kind of leaves him. Like his tall, well-built and defined statue just suddenly like deflates for a second, and there's like a small tremble of the hand holding the flap to the tent, and beads of sweat form on his forehead, and suddenly like the breathing is just ragged for a short second before he seems to regain composure, and he pauses and turns back to Breeze. You know what, Breeze? It's late. I'm much more tired than I expected myself to be, so I might just catch an early night, if that's okay.
Right. But perhaps when it's less late, we'll still have this chat, yes?
Of course.
I just want to help Sebastian. That's all.
Good
May
night.
you have pleasant dreams. Good night. And she heads to her bedroll.
Goes to the tent.
Okay, so you go to your tent, Sebastian. Breeze, you go.
That huge tent all to himself.
Yep.
All to myself.
Breeze, you go back to your bedroll over by You go over to your bedroll over by Rick, and settle in. Your moth is waiting there, just warming itself on at the fire.
My bedroll is under one of its wigs, by the way, so
Yeah.
I'm absolutely sort of blanketed by a wig.
Every now and then you watch as it reaches out one of its antenna to tickle its fuzzy, fluffy antennas to tickle Rick's nose.
What?
Rick, do you wake up?
I'm swatting this thing off my nose.
You feel this soft tickling.
But... God damn it.
You just open your eyes to see this fuzzy moth looking at you.
What the hell do you want?
It's reaching out its antenna, Rick. Like it's
Nope.
reaching for you.
Nope. I'll bat it away.
Breeze, you walk over to see Rick fighting with your moth.
What are you doing to my moth?
It keeps touching me.
It's probably trying to... Have you asked it why?
No. I just want it to stop.
I'll turn to the moth and say, "Hey, bestie. Why are you touching Rick? He doesn't like it."
Because message.
Message for
You've
Rick?
got mail.
I'm trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
Rick, the moth has a message for you.
What? How the hell would it know who I am?
Crazy moon moth that travels between planes of existence.
This place is weird.
You're weird.
What's his message?
Message.
As it reaches out again.
What? What?
Its little fuzzy antenna is reaching for you, Rick.
I think you may have to touch the moth to get the message. Just using context clues here.
Puts his hand out. Touches it.
The moth gives a happy little kind of chitter that it's getting to deliver the message as, Rick, your eyes close and you feel your mind start to wander. You find yourself in a cloudy, it looks like a cloudy space. It's all dusty purples and pinks, very ethereal colours. And there appears to be, not that you can kind of tell directions, but there appears to be some kind of like cloud-like wall that seems to have a swirling silvery disc on it. Or should I say a disc with a silvery swirling background on it. Do you approach it?
Yep.
As you approach it, you start to see the form of a woman appear. Tan skin, elven features, bobbed red hair, looking into a mirror. Behind her, you can see the edge of a bed, the corner of an open wardrobe. In front of her, you see a journal open with writing on it. You can see that she's got her hands rested against her forehead like she's thinking. She's got a small glass of an amber-coloured liquid as she seems to be frustrated at what she's reading.
Hell? Hell, can you hear me?
You see her head twitch as she looks confused. She looks up and sees you there. Rick?
It's good to see you. Did you send this moth to talk to... We could talk?
How much have you had to drink? Oh, more to the point, what are you... Why are you in my mirror?
You didn't send this moth. This weird moth that had a message. And I touched it, and then... Yeah, I'm in this weird place, and I could see you through
Have
this.
you been getting into the devil weed again? Because I've warned you about that.
No.
Actually, although, let's be honest, if you were into the devil weed, why would I be having the joint hallucination? Are you safe? I guess if you are, if this isn't a trick. This isn't a trick, is it?
Not that I'm aware of. But,
Okay, are you safe?
Yeah. This place is weird.
And the client, is he safe? He hasn't hurt you at all? I mean, he seemed a little unhinged.
Yeah, definitely that. No, nothing I can't handle.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good.
I thought you were contacting me to say I was right to come back.
Oh, God, no. Rick, it's gotten real bad.
What's happened now?
Well, the Scalinis have framed your dad for everything.
Bastards.
The heist, the break-in, everything was apparently your dad's idea. He's trying to say it was a whole family affair and saying that you were the insider on it.
Course I am.
Which, of course, I have been saying as loudly as possible that, well, you can't have because you weren't even there, but, well, you know what they're like. the Sun Guard aren't exactly very accommodating when it comes to your family.
Nearly all corrupt anyway. My mother and the others.
Well, I got your mom into hiding, but, well,
Thank you.
I don't know for how long. I mean, the Scalinis have fingers in everything.
Yep.
And they have a
Right, all the
lot
way
of
to the
funding behind it. But I've been investigating, and they seem, well, you know what they're like. They're cold, they're calculated, but this time they actually seem, I don't know. I've been tailing them, and this time they seem scared. I think whatever it is your dad got involved in, Rick, I think he messed up real bad this time.
Great.
I'm actually worried that, well, if they can get to him in prison.
Yeah. Sure, I can. You know, maybe I should come back.
No, you'll get trapped too. I don't want you involved in this. Give me a chance. I can do this. I can clear your name. You just need to lay low for a while.
Feel useless.
I mean, there was this image. They were, I got onto one of their runner boys, and he had a picture with him that apparently that they were looking for. And I asked your brother, and he said that, you know, the bank heist that they tried to pull, the Scalinis didn't care how much money they seemed to take, but they wanted this thing, a coin of some kind, a disc, and it had an image on it.
Coin.
Yeah, it didn't matter whatever else your dad took. They wanted this platinum coin, and on the coin is this eye. Whatever it is, whoever hired the Scalini that they're scared of, your dad messing up that heist. It's bad, Rick.
Yeah. What have I done? So messy.
Well, I mean, I've been looking around, and it seems that this platinum coin or whatever it is, it's not the only one. There are reports that some of them are here, some of them are over there. Maybe you can look into it from where you are. I mean, it's not every day you can get a license to get into Fairweir. Maybe you can do some investigating while you're over there and out of harm's way.
Well, at least I could do something then.
Well, at least it'll give you some focus rather than drinking every day.
Yeah.
I need your best, soldier. Come on. We can do this.
I can do this. I can do this. You keep your head down.
Sure. I'll try to find a way to contact you if I can. Maybe I'll try to find the number of your moth. You say she looks really confused at the concept that you're communicating to her through a moth.
Yeah, it's got me bamboozled as well.
I gotta ask though, Rick. And you watch for a moment as she gets this wistful look on her face. What's magic like? you went over there, and what's magic like? You've seen it, right?
Yeah.
Is it
It's...
really cool?
It is actually. One of these guys just turns into things.
Really?
It's really weird.
Oh my god. I mean, there are stories that, yeah, there are people that could do that, and I mean, a long time ago, but wow.
Yeah, there's also this dude that... I think it's a dude. He keeps changing sex all the time, but then turns into a fox.
Well, you don't say.
Yeah, like I said, it's weird.
It's amazing, Rick. The fact that you're actually getting to see it, be there with it. Maybe, hey, who knows? Maybe you'll come back and you'll be magic. They say it's catching, right?
Wouldn't that be something?
I mean,
Magic Rick. Woo.
I mean,
Jet Scalini's.
well, would it be so bad? I mean, back in the day, when magic was here, investigating would have been so much easier if we could go invisible, hear through walls.
Yeah, but it works on both sides of the coin. It can also be used for the wrong purposes as well.
Yeah, but you wouldn't use it that way, Rick.
Oh, definitely not.
Of course not. You're one of the good guys.
No, never.
Yeah, one of the good guys, sure.
All right, well, keep your nose clean and good luck.
And you keep your head down.
I'll try.
Okay. Get easy, please.
All right,
Can't wait to talk to you again.
whenever that is. I'll try to keep your family safe.
Thank you.
And you watch as the image swells and you find yourself feeling the hard ground beneath you. Again, Rick, as all of a sudden the glimmer of the fire becomes solid and corporeal in front of you once again.
How did it do that, Breeze?
How long has it been from my perspective?
I don't know, like...
8 weeks.
We left.
No,
Yeah, Rick wakes up and there's no one there.
you watched Rick kind of Rick kind of get like 1,000-yard stare and start staring into the fire. It's only been about 30 seconds or so.
Do what? What was the message?
It was my partner in the other realm,
Partner.
but she didn't know about connection, so I'm just wondering how it happened.
I will stroke the mouth and say, "How did you get that message for Rick?"
Space.
What was that?
Space.
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 Yep, space.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. That clears it all up. Yeah, space.
That doesn't clear anything up. Place is really weird.
I know, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you were glad to hear from your
Oh,
partner.
Yeah, no, it's good to hear.
So it was a good thing.
Family and all that, yeah.
Your family. You have a family?
Yeah, I do.
Would you tell me a little about them?
I got my mother, my papa, my siblings.
Is there a Mrs. or Mr. Rick back home?
No,
No. Okay.
nothing like that. No. I don't want to talk
And
about
then
it.
after this, oh, oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't mean to pry for doing that.
No,
Like,
that's fine.
and I-
There's just a bit of trouble happening, and I'm trying to protect him.
okay. Well, if you need help, I'm happy to help.
Thanks. I'll keep that in mind. But no, it's okay. It's okay. It's under control. It's under control.
Yeah. I mean, from what I've seen so far, you're incredibly capable, so I'm sure it is. But there are some things that even the most capable people can't handle just by themselves. I was actually saying that about 10 minutes ago to somebody. So I'm just saying, it's okay to lean on people occasionally.
I'll definitely keep that in mind. And he'll absentmindedly reach down and grab his flask. And as he's just taking the top off, he'll just look at it, put it back.
The first step.
Oh, yeah, maybe we should get some rest.
Yeah, you're right. Sweet dreams.
I'll make sure no one's watching, and I'll pat the moth.
It's like when you bring a pet home and your dad's like, I'm not gonna fucking take care of it.
You pat the moth gives like a little happy shiver and just
Absolutely, this is dads who didn't want pets.
You tell no one. That didn't happen.
the moth looks
You
at
talking to the mob?
Yep.
The moth looks at you like, what happened? Blake and Harsa, you have come out of the bushes.
Oi, hair
Hey.
ruffle.
Yep, fixing up belts and all that, yeah.
I don't know what happened in the bushes. Well done.
We played a riveting game of I Spy for 6 hours.
Yeah.
Turns out all we could see was moths.
So
We also found 10 gold.
you did. Yes, the coin rat, the little gold coin rat had run past and given everybody 10 gold. Breeze, you also get inspiration. So, just letting you know that.
Alright. I think we've got what we need. Let's hit the hay.
Okay. So,
And
If
we sleep.
everyone's going to sleep, there's one thing I want to do. Once Harsa falls asleep,
God damn it.
I want to sneak into
Right.
Harsa's bag and I want to get his bucket list.
Oh no.
okay, so you sit there waiting, Blake, until everyone seems to be sleeping. Everyone's breathing evens
Everyone's
out.
still breathing. Good.
Everyone's breathing kind of evens out, and you go over to Haas's bag, and you ease it out from under his, using it as a pillow. You ease it out from
He does
underneath
what?
Yeah, he eases it out.
him. Eases it out.
Gotta be gentle.
Blake's got very good pull-out game.
Roll me,
No,
Haasa,
don't make
a perception with disadvantage because you are asleep.
Okay. Is that versing anything?
Just roll it.
my dashing good looks.
What's your passive? What's your passive perception?
My passive is 14, so
You're asleep,
technically
though.
it would be higher than this roll.
Yes.
Have a nap. Relax. Everything's
Well, you
fine.
are asleep, so you can't have a passive perception if you're asleep. So
I would
yes.
argue it's, but yeah.
Hey, God spoken. Gimme.
Aren't you gonna roll?
No.
You might get a 1.
Roll me a
No.
sleight of hand, Blake.
Damn it. Oh, I hate my life. I really hate my life.
Yeah.
You're easing it out from underneath Haasa, and just when you think you've got it, you don't realize that there's just like a lump of a bottle or something that Haasa's head has been
The
kind of
bottle I
caught
gave
on.
him earlier.
And you pull it out, and as you give it a very tiny yank to get it free, Haasa's head goes bang into the dirt, waking him up.
I give him a little smooch on the
And
forehead.
you see
No, no, sweet
you see
dreams.
Blake squatting next to you, his hand, your bag in his hands, as your eyes come open, Hasa.
He only like just comes like barely open, like squinting almost to make it look like he's still asleep. As Blake is slowly moving away, I want to snag the clip from one of my glitter bombs
No.
so that as he pulls the bag away, it pulls the pin out.
There's a little bit more of a resistance, Blake, which you give another little tug. And as you do so, there's just this poof, as you are just covered in gold glitter dust. It is on your nose, it is in your ears, it's all through your fur.
Damn it, Hasa.
Haas is still asleep.
No, I know he's not.
He's gonna pretend to still be asleep.
Roll me an insight, Blake. Roll me a performance or a deception. It's up to you, Hasa.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, no, he's definitely not asleep. You know he did this. It doesn't help that you can see the pin still looped around his finger, and you can see the corners of his mouth smiling.
I take my little bucket list I've stolen and I shake glitter all over him and I sit down next to him.
Hasa can't help but let out a little chuckle, and then he goes back to sleep.
You have a paper list in your hands, Blake, as you are sitting cross-legged next to the fire.
Yeah, I just want to have a read. I want to see what's on the bucket list. I want to find out what I can maybe help my new best friend with, and and that's it. After I've had a read and sort of a memorize what's sort of important, like what are the most doable for me to help with. I'm gonna fold it back up and slide it back in his bag, and I'm going to bed. That was it.
I will let Hasa give you that list later.
Yeah,
so
I'll send that to you.
Yeah. So the rest of you sleep the night away. You wake up in the morning and pack up your things. You manage to get the tent all folded back up a little awkwardly, but you get everything packed up and into the car. And you climb in for yet another day of driving. Who is driving?
We arrive at the lake.
Who is driving, first of all?
Sebastian did such an excellent job last time.
So Sebastian's going to be driving?
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay. So, just roll me as you're getting through this. This is now I think like the third day you're driving. So, you're getting your hours in. So, as you get your hours in, you're driving reasonably well. I will get you a vehicle handling check, please.
That's just dexterity, yeah.
Yeah, we'll just have a dexterity check for that. Yeah, you're managing to...
17.
Okay, cool. You're managing to wend your way through the... on the road through here. So, over the days, we find ourselves driving through the forest, getting through there, every now and then having to stop for animals that are crossing, dinosaurs that are crossing and whatnot, until eventually you hit the hills, which, does anyone suffer from any kind of car sickness?
Nope.
Negative. God of Steel.
Rick might be having a little bit of trouble at the moment.
Okay, yeah, withdrawal
Is that
symptoms.
from
We
the
love that for you.
crippling alcoholism?
Okay, Rick, I'll get a con save from you as we're now doing a hill drive. Nah, you're good. You feel a bit nauseous, but the hills don't seem to be contributing to that. It could be the rampant alcohol withdrawal symptoms that you seem to be suffering from, which whoever's sitting next to you in the car, Rick, they can see that you are. I mean, not that many places of you can visibly sweat, but you can see on the the very tip of your nose and the palms of your hands are kind of really clammy, and you've kind of got this slightly bloodshot look to your eyes. For anyone who's sitting next to you, for which Crisis is sitting in the back seat, but he is sitting very upright. His hands are in fists, just sitting on his knees as he's sitting with his back perfectly straight as he's looking around and just taking it all in. But he doesn't seem quite like himself.
Hey, Haas, is he normally like this?
Not really.
Do you think I fucked him up a little bit by showing him his dead wife?
Probably.
Oh, now I feel bad. I'm sure it'll buff.
Oh, I have a really important question.
Yes.
Okay, when I left the campsite, I did turn to the moth and say, "So, what's your next move? What are you gonna be doing with your life next?"
I
'Cause we're
believe
heading-
last session we tried
we're
to
heading
back them
out.
all into the car, yeah.
Well, the others,
We're heading out.
for the most part, you did wake up, and most of the moths had indeed departed. Blake's could not leave, as such as it is like a helium balloon at the moment. But
Yes.
you kind of get the impression that he's not the brightest moth in the moonbeams.
Oh, that makes sense.
By the
That
fact
makes
that he does spend most of his time crawling around, and you know that way in which moths kind of like cling to you and just then stick, and you're like, you can fly. Why are you still here? Every now and then he'll kind of like wander around, walk into a tree stump, climb up Blake's leg, and just kind of sit there for a bit, which is really weird considering it's a 10-foot long, like wide moth when its wings are out. So,
But is it a good boy?
I mean, he's not doing anything you would deem as bad.
I'm in love. Good as
Nah,
good boy
he's a
confirmed.
bad boy. He's got
He's
like
he's
shades.
existing. Whereas yours, Breeze, does seem to have a bit more light behind its eyes.
That's smart.
More
it-
going on upstairs, yeah.
as it does seem to try to perch itself on your shoulder in a way that's not hindering your movement, because it does realize it's a big moth. So
I feel like that makes perfect sense. I'd be drawn to just the little dumbass, and I'm just like squeezing its cheeks. I'm like, yes.
Right, like this is like a horse is sitting on my shoulder, right?
yes,
A little.
Haunts.
yeah. Well, no,
Yeah,
wrong.
it's not like a horse. It's more like its body is like a Great Dane, and then it's got 10-foot wide wingspan when it opens its wings.
yeah, one of those like
Still
big
got a Great
goats,
Dane sitting on your
basically.
shoulder.
Yeah, you still got a Great Dane sitting on your shoulder.
This is not wrapped around your leg.
Thank God I didn't get any like actual dump stats. I will sit like on the roof then. I know there's not much of a roof, but I'll sit on part of the roof of the car so that me and my moth can
Okay. Yep. You
travel.
sit up on the roof rack. Hold on. It's a drive. The moth seems to be clinging to you with its little feet hooked into your clothes. You can see that it's pulled its wings in nice and tight, so it's not going to act like a sail and be ripped free. But it does seem
You
to
mean make the car go faster?
No, it will
Yeah.
not make the car go fast. But it's got its like little antenna like
Can
slicked
they
back.
lift the car?
No, they cannot lift the car.
Will both of them working together? Can it lift the car?
I mean, it doesn't have eyelids or anything like this, but it does seem to be vibrating.
Oh
and
no,
humming.
its eyes are full of dust. Then this poor thing.
No, they have their own ways of dealing with things, but it does seem to be
Really
enjoying
beautiful
it.
long eyelashes.
Yeah, you can hear that it's giving that weird little hum of happiness that it seems to give when it's enjoying something or it's happy about something.
I'm gonna wait for it to tell me its name of its own accord, and yeah, then we arrive at the lake.
I love the fact that that's your way of cheating out of giving this thing a name. Thanks for
Yeah, but I wasn't gonna give it a name. It has I was gonna ask it its name, but then I thought
I cannot
Oh,
wait
I'll
till its
wait.
name's Mothy too.
no, I think later on tonight I'll ask it its name. But right now it just seems happy, and I don't want to disturb the happiness.
Okay, so you're sitting on the roof rack, ignoring whatever is going on down in the actual vehicle, the weirdness that is Crisis. But eventually, as you make your way through the hills, eventually you can see that as you crest the top of the hills, in the distance, you can see this perfectly azure blue lake that seems to be, as you look to your left, there does seem to be these giant green cans reaching up towards the sky, acting like a crown, which obviously does give this place a name of, if you give me one moment, I will, because it does actually have a name, if you would believe, which, the DM obviously remembers perfectly.
Rick, we're not allowed to post moth pictures. Crisis is scared of moths.
Yes, we're not allowed to post moth pictures.
Andrew will have a heart attack when he wakes up. He lives to fight another day.
I know. I'm
Okay,
sad
if it's a
about that
butterfly in a
picture
moth
too.
suit.
Yeah, that's fine. It's
Yes.
only moths. Only moths you're scared of.
Yeah, he doesn't like
That's so
moths.
cute.
This is helpful.
If I was a moth.
We love that for you. Wow.
While Tegan's looking that up and we're traveling in the car, I'd like to look up at Breeze and be like, hey, is there any favors that you need doing? And give Arthur a big nudge.
Favors that I need
Yeah,
doing.
any sort of favor someone could do, like anything someone could do that you'd call like a favor, and I'm just nudging Arthur really, really hard.
Oh, stop that. Oh, fuck. Oh. Why are you doing this? Ow.
Also, it's on the bucket list. No favors, nothing, even something small that one could do that you would say was, oh, that was a really nice favor that someone just did for me.
I mean, probably, but I mean, I can't think of any right this moment. Why is this important to you? Blake, why is this so important to you?
Lots of things are just. I'm just asking for a mate. And
Are you asking because you want a favor done for you?
no.
Trying to fish for one. If you need help with something, I've told people several times in the last few days. If you want a favor, then just ask, and I'll consider its merits.
I don't. I'm asking. I've got a mate who really loves doing favors for people, and
What's his name?
Jasa.
Oh my god, it's Jonathan all over again.
Jonathan?
Your mate is named Jasa.
Yeah, Jasa.
It's a very strange name.
It's super unique. He goes to a different academy. You wouldn't know him.
Oh, okay.
And why would Jasa be so keen on doing me favors?
Does he have a last name?
He does indeed have a last name, and his last name would in fact be a very common one that lots of people know. It's Frunkleton.
Joseph Frunkleton.
Okay. It's different than what I thought. Does he have a title? Maybe he's really good at sewing storms. He's like storm sower or something.
Yeah, he is. He's the storm sower. Yeah, you were right. It's funny. Small world. Maybe you do know him.
Sower.
Maybe I do know him. Yeah.
There aren't many communities that I know of that have titles on top of their names, but
it's a title under his name.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes all the difference. Under the name rather than on top, that makes all the difference.
It does. Yeah, so, but anyway, enough about Jasa, Funkleweed, Storm Sower. Favors. Anything at all you can do. Something as simple as, I don't know, getting me to shut up. at this point.
Think about it. I'll think about it. But like, if he loves doing favors so much, then perhaps he could do a favor for you.
He's done many favors for me.
Or for Hasa, because Hasa clearly doesn't know him, so he's never done a favor for Hasa before.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I've
maybe
never heard
Hasa-
of this person. I mean,
Uh-huh.
Blake, if you've got a friend that needs help, I'm happy to assist.
We'll come back to this. It's been a very, very confusing conversation for many of us, me included. A lot of the details are a bit fuzzy, and I feel like we lost some in translation.
For me, this made perfect sense. You have a friend who loves to do favors, but he's done too many for you, and he needs
Yeah.
new people to do favors for.
He
And now
does.
Hasa is offering. Yeah.
That is a little conspicuous, though, Blake. I would be very careful. People in the Feywild trade favors not so lightly.
It's true. It has a great meaning here.
I've done plenty of favors for him too. I feel like we're really getting off track here. The main question was, did you have a favor that needed doing? And we came to the conclusion that you don't, and that's all well and good. And I hear Mothy calling for me, so I'm going to deal with that.
It's actually your leg. You seem to have like a great.
I
name
love
so
the
far.
fact that this conversation has had to happen with Blake sticking his head up through a sunroof. Because Breeze is currently sitting on top of the
I know.
car.
He said he was looking up at me, so I assumed that he was just like leaning up to the sunroof.
Yelling up.
Yeah.
And I sit back down and I lean over and I whisper, "What the fuck was that, Hasa?"
What do you mean? I offered my assistance.
I know, but we've got to get through the bucket list. I'm going to help you complete it all.
What do you mean?
Favor from a princess. That's what she is, isn't it?
Oh, I suppose that counts, yeah.
Well, it's that or steal her, I don't know, her diamonds. And I didn't think that was a good idea.
I don't know if she's carrying around anything like that, but fair enough.
We've got three options here. We can either do her a favor, you can steal her diamonds or something. I'm not quite sure what family jewels are, but you're going to steal them apparently. Or you can kiss her, and I just don't think the third one's going to work right now.
I don't particularly like the idea of pressuring any of those, but fair enough.
All right,
oh, look, a lake.
Okay, yes, there's a lake. We'll come back to this. We'll put a line through it for now.
I feel like I'm growing stronger and more capable and better at spelling.
I know, right? This lake
As I
just
approach
has
this lake.
it's strange properties. I feel more experienced.
Ha 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 ha. Yes, so as you reach the lake and you look to the left, you see it first, Breeze, because obviously from your higher vantage point, you see the green cans of the mountain range through here, which is translated to be known as the Crown of Glass, which overlooks this beautiful lake, which for such a beautiful lake, Breeze, it has such a sad name. It translates, it is Bronagalach, or the Sorrow of the Moon is the name of the lake.
Well, that's beautiful.
So Krunglan is the actual name of the mountain range, but yes, it is translated as Crown of Glass. So
The Crown of Glass itself.
yes. So, which makes me sad because massive reveals with all of this. Damn you, Crisis, why are you not here? Either way, as you come over the crest of the hill and behold this beautiful azure crystal blue lake that manages to shine in the brightest of blue, even under the slightly lilac sky that this part of the world has. You start to become aware that this whole idyllic beachside, lakeside has been marred by what appears to be creeping black markings, scorch marks across the earth. There seems to be a dark stone architrave that seems to open up, and you can see this glow of red before you as you start to realize that this place has been almost torn asunder. Like The only thing that you would equate what you're looking at to is if a meteor had hit and displaced the rock and caused these jagged pillars to reach for the sky, bringing forth the moltenous rock beneath it.
Hell.
This place looks fucked up.
Yes, it does.
Normally look like this.
No.
It does not.
Half time.
Do you need the loo or something?
No, I just Tegan usually likes to put a break in.
Yeah, at 9:30. Got 20 minutes.
Cool.
What? You do not?
What?
God, I hate daylight savings. It's 9:40.
Yeah, I'm half an hour
I'm
behind
not-
you,
it's
Uzu,
9:40,
in South
yeah.
Australia.
God,
I'm
I
actually
hate daylight
behind you
savings.
in time. And
Do you take it
hilariously,
Time travel.
hilariously, Tide Runner's even a half an hour after me as well.
No, it's 9:40 for me.
It is. Yeah, that's right.
Look who doesn't understand daylight savings now. Funny
They're
gal.
They're in Queensland.
hours.
Queensland's weird when it comes to
No,
time.
we're the only ones with normal time. And then there's May.
I was gonna say
How
May's
can it
just
be
off of
normal
it.
time when you're 8 hours ahead of me? That's just wrong.
I don't. The future shit. I do not recommend.
Yeah, but you guys are still in it, so I'm sure it's awesome.
Oh.
Aw. But yes, you are looking at what appears to be a giant crater. There seems to be dark scorch marks and veins, dark veins almost running through the dirt. The plants of this area, around this area, seem to be scorched and almost like they're dying of some kind of corrupting disease.
Hey, Arthur, you should make a milkshake out of this. Like the dirt shakes, I'm sure.
Well,
Actually,
I
this
could
would kill ya.
definitely whip something up to figure out what exactly is going on here, but
Yeah, just don't let it touch your skin. I've learnt lots of things, and you definitely should never touch gross, disfigured earth.
right.
Come across this before then, have you?
Not this particular, but like I've seen mold. I'm sure this is just like big mold on like a giant scale. Like I've broken plenty of things.
Okay.
Oh no, this looks nothing like mold.
This looks nothing
Good
like
lord, this is a callback.
Yeah, it's taken a while to get here. Built this weeks ago.
Months even.
We had tents to put up, okay?
You did that amazingly, but in like record time.
So yes, as you approach, you become aware that this place is...
I just watched Tide Runner appear on the map, then disappear instantly. He's like, wait, I'm not in this scene.
So not appearing in this film. What's this? Blake is appearing out of the sigil.
So there we go. So as you slowly approach the lakeside, Sebastian, I'm assuming you pull the car over.
No, I drive it straight into the lake.
Good plan. I like this plan. Do that.
Lock all the doors. And we sink to the bottom.
Breeze just steps off the moving car because she's outside.
Exactly, yeah. I'm like, it's so sad what happened to them all.
Weird place to park, but okay. Damn it, Harsey, get out of me.
So the car
Oh,
pulls
wow.
over as you are able to view. This place in front of you.
Chasing each other. You play a game of grab bars.
I'll do a perception check to
Sure.
see if I can see anything.
Let's roll some things.
See what I can see.
You see what you can see.
Once.
Imagine not having fox eyes and ears, idiots. Your perception diff.
So, as you look out at this place, Sebastian, you do notice the corruption of the earth. You notice that it's pretty prevalent. This creeping blackness does seem to edge all the way around the edge of the lake, heading to the left up towards the mountainous cairn area, as well as a dark and corrupted path that seems to be moving its way out into the forest, northward, northeast, as it's going through the cairns. As Breeze and Rick, one thing that you all notice is there appears to be mounds of something laying all around, just littered all over the area. Just carcasses as far as the eye can see. Breeze, you on the roof get the first hit of it. This smell of rotting flesh just pervades into your senses and almost washes over you with almost an oily feeling that it seems to seep into all of your clothes, into your skin, just making you crawl.
Oily mounds.
Yes.
God fucking damn it.
Well, I'm going to retire.
Hasa, as you're noticing all of the death and devastation all around you, it comes to your attention that not only is there dead carcasses and dead piles of rotting flesh everywhere, the animals that are standing here are standing still, too still, just staring, not doing anything, not moving. Even when the car drove up, they didn't seem to dart away as wild animals should. They just staring blankly. Blake? You notice the disc in the center. Not only is there a disc in the center that seems to be upon a black base of this shining, almost glass-like rock, it does seem to extend up almost into like an archway on either side, circling above this golden disc, and it is blacker than black. These giant pillars of this black glassy substance, and you can see coming up the side all these carvings of what appears to be some kind of language reaching as the two spires are almost touching above it.
This place is kind of fucking messed up, guys, in all honesty. Does anyone else see the giant floating pillars of light? And can anyone read them?
They're not light, they're rock.
Rock?
So there's like writing on them?
There's writing
After
on
you put
them.
it out, can I read what it says?
Not
can
at this
somebody else-
distance. You would need to go up to it to have a look, but it does appear to be carved into the stone.
Alright, I'll
We came here
cast
for-
resistance on myself and start.
Sorry, what was that, Sebastian?
cast resistance myself and just start approaching.
Do you think
Okay.
it's a good idea to approach this thing so eagerly, team?
What we're here for, is it not? We need to at least examine it.
Can't get anything done by watching it.
I'm gonna hang back, but I think.
Yeah,
we
I'm
need to
cool with
get
going
a
first.
little closer, right? Just a little. I think we should investigate it. I don't think we should just charge in.
I'm
Don't go
gonna
That's too far. Don't go that far.
I'm gonna let go of Mothy's lead and tell him, hey buddy, if this goes pear-shaped, you have full authority to just leave.
I have on the back of my mouth.
Your moth stays in the car and immediately runs into a window as he's trying to find a way out.
Oh, he's so dumb. I love him. I love him so much.
You stay with Crisis, little buddy.
I hop on the back of my moth.
Okay, you climb on the back of your moth.
Immediately changes planes. Gone for the rest of the day.
Flying over
Breeze just noped the fuck out.
Rick's gonna pull his revolver out and just keep an eye on these animals.
Yeah, the animals are kind of creepy.
They're just
Wait, where are the animals? Are they?
They're in the forest. They are in the forest.
Sebastian, don't go this close. Please don't go this close. Can you just see when you can start reading from instead of going this close?
Have you guys ever heard of binoculars?
You notice the animals, Rick. They are just... Yep. They're not paying you any mind. They seem to be staring off into the middle distance. Just... They're not chewing. They're not doing anything.
What type of animals are they?
Breathing. Things like... there's things like, standard deer and things like this. Rabbits. Usual prey animals. But the thing that kind of then throws you is some of the more esoteric ones. You see what appears to be, at first you didn't notice it, but as you are looking directly at it, Rick, there appears to be a large lion-like creature. It's no surprise you didn't notice it at first because its fur is a light green, but it does have this large daisy-like mane around it that's almost quite fluffy, like it's got a very lion-like face. It's got a tail that has almost a dandelion-like poof on the end, but it's just standing there, not doing anything.
I'm still going to keep an eye on it while Sebastian's reading.
Just for a reference, anyone who is from the Feywild, this is a dandelion.
Pretty hard. Hey, but can we take that break? I really need to go to the toilet.
Yeah, no, that's okay. We can take a little bit of a break early as you all consider what you want to do. And we will be right back in about 5 minutes, guys. So
is Sebastian walking in lava?
We'll see you in 5 minutes.
children used to run and play. Look at all the mess we made. Guess I never know where it went wrong. Sometimes I feel like oh that's sad, 'cause viral then people forget. In this crazy world I don't belong. I see fire burning but I close my eyes. I'd rather deny that. Everything is falling out of place. I see trees ripped from the ground but nobody makes a sound. I see fire burning but I'm fine. No, I'm nobody. We are not alone. There's more to life than this. Show me what you know. Take me to that place. I'm stuck within these walls. I need a quick escape. You know where I can go. Take me to that place.
Okay. Welcome back, everybody, to State of Anarchy. A game where we got to a lake. Finally, we got to a lake.
And we leveled up. It was so cool.
Not yet, you haven't. End of session.
No.
Calm down. Calm down. But we are here. We are about to search a lake. I believe Sebastian is walking across crusted lava to look at what this disc is. So, some conversations were had. Rick met with a friend through a weird scape of some description. Blake and Hasa are making plans to apparently do Hasa's bucket list. And Breeze...
Could have just stopped with do Hasa.
And Breeze got a moth.
Hey. It's
To be
my
fair,
moth.
so did Blake, but it's a different moth.
It's such a lovely thing. Breeze now has a pet moth,
And I love them with all my heart. And
which is exactly
both are. And they cannot die. They cannot die. They will never die.
It was written in the rules. Moths are actually impossible to kill.
I think
it's
so.
more the fact that you're traveling with an alchemist who likes harvesting parts of everything. So
Well, then take Blake's stupid moth. Don't take my smart moth.
How
Because
dare you
people
speak about Mothie
messages to
that way?
people they didn't even know that they wanted to hear.
I will let you know that he is trying his darnest to be of help. It doesn't matter.
Oh, I love Muffy. He's such a good boy. He's just so dumb. Oh, just
You know what
like
they
the
say, pets take after their owners.
He's a level 9 susceptible.
he is just he's a whole heap of special, is he? Maybe not. We'll see. Either way.
He's a good boy. That's all that matters.
Either way.
I'm gonna get a drink.
I hate you so much.
You had 5 minutes.
I'm kidding.
So, as you are, Sebastian, as you are walking over to the large golden disc in the center of what appears to be a crater, you notice that this crater is standing atop this glassy black substance, very similar to obsidian, with these what appear to be, again, the same substance of almost, again, you think it's obsidian of some description, reaching up to meet in the center, and arched up over that, written all over it, is some kind of gruesome alien script. As you start to approach it further, you notice that there is a shimmer in the central space where this archway is. And as you get closer, you start to notice that there seems to be a door forming. That as you were further away, it didn't appear to be there, but as you've gotten closer, that shimmery, heat wave-esque atmosphere has started to show this door. It looks like a weathered black stone door that continues to have more of that script on it. And in the center is a large sigil, very similar to one that you have actually seen. It appears to be the two triangles stacked atop of each other with the bar through the center.
Two triangles stacked on. Oh. Where have I seen this before?
You saw it just the night before.
Oh, I took a screen cap of the sigils and none of them look like this.
I believe it was two triangles, one facing upwards, one facing downwards. They overlap, and in the center there is like a horizontal line that runs through the center of them.
Yeah, the turtle was holding it.
Yeah, I'm just. What's represented on the sigil's not on the. Okay. Okay, so the alien-ish script, is that anything I can... Do I recognize that as more sigil magic language, or is it a separate language I can read, or...
It is a language that you have not seen before. It doesn't even appear to look like the sigil magic you've seen. It seems to be, again, an almost runic in nature, made up of different types of triangles, lines, dots, arrows, spirals. It looks very odd to you. If I can actually show you, Sebastian, I will. Give me a moment. And I can actually send it to you to have a look at.
Okay. But yeah, not a language any of us would know that.
No, it is not a language that you know.
I love that Sebastian's icon is just him just grinning so coolly with sunglasses. So just imagine him just like a huge grin on his face approaching this death trap.
Okay. Well, I'll call over my shoulder to the rest of the party. Well, there's what appears to be more... The script is not the language I know, but if you guys keep an eye out, I can spend a bit of time perhaps translating some of it. You guys want to keep an eye on the animals?
Sure.
I'll keep an eye out, yeah. Thank you,
All right.
Sebastian.
Just give me a hot sec.
There's the dandelion.
The dandelion. You want an image of where the dandelion is?
Yeah, I want to go have a look at the dandelion.
He's over here. There you go.
Oh,
So pretty.
no.
So I guess identify on the disc, comprehend languages on the script, and detect magic in general.
Okay. So you want detect magic. Well, that is fine. There is a whole heap of magic here. The biggest one that you're getting is necrotic. There is transmutation magic. There is, Yes, transmutation magic, conjuration magic, necrotic magic. Yeah, there is an amalgamation of different magics that seem to be stemming from this. All of them, as you are feeling this, Sebastian, you are feeling this weight of the magic of this area pressing down on you like an oppressive force, like it's trying to push you and merge you into the actual disc itself. As you are getting closer to what appears to be the doorway, you can start to feel something in your chest, like it's hooking claws into you and starting to draw you towards it. As you breathe, you can feel with every breath it pulling you a little bit closer, wanting you to get closer, to enter, to be a part of it. As you cast, do you touch it first before you comprehend languages?
So do it in the order that's there. So it would have been, I guess we could do the detect magic first, but yeah, it would have been comprehend languages and then identify.
Okay, so you 100% want to cast all of them in one go.
Well, they take about 10 minutes to do each because they're ritual castings.
Okay, still
Is
asking.
this your version of "Are you sure"?
Are you casting
Yeah.
them one after the other, even regardless of what your comprehend magic says? I'm giving you the chance to retcon this decision now.
Well, no, I don't want. Well, yeah, I mean, so the detect magic that'll be for the things. The comprehend languages, like unless unless Sebastian literally reads "Do not cast like magic in this place," then he's probably going to continue with the identify.
Okay. Okay, you cast comprehend languages. I need a wisdom saving throw, please. As you start to read the text on this. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good.
And just making sure the advantage is deliberate.
Yep, no, that's fine. I'm aware you have advantage on wisdom saving throws. It's fine. That's all good. As you start reading the text on this gate, and it starts to wrap around your mind as you are reading it, your eyes passing over the text, as you start to realize that the flow of the actual dialogue that is written does not seem to flow in a conscionable way that makes sense to your brain. It is talking in riddles and talking circles around itself about the beginning is the end and the end is the beginning, and everything will come to nothing as I will find my way. I will find order, order will become chaos, and chaos will become order, and everything that is done will be undone forever and never. And it's just going over and over this, that he who shall be summoned will be the summoner and the summoned. And none of it makes sense, Sebastian. Despite the fact that you can comprehend now what this is saying, there is a level to this that is trying to pervade into your mind and drive you to insanity. But due to the connection that you have, you manage to maintain your sanity to try to pass together exactly what this is saying as you begin your detect magic, in which you feel the necrotic, the transmutation, the conjuration, the abjuration, spells that all seem to emanate from it. You also notice that there feel like there have been a number of spells cast from this place, in terms of this gate was created and yet the gate itself is magic. You start to hear almost you start to hear in your mind just this deep rasping rattle of a breath coming from the gate itself, as you feel like it's waiting for a question. Yeah, just making sure.
Okay.
Just
Yep.
as we're looking over this lion, and as I wander back, I'm gonna notice Sebastian crouching down so intently and just, you okay over there?
Perfectly all right. The rest of you should probably keep your distance for a little while.
As you are reading this, Sebastian, you can feel like the gate is listening to you.
Well, before I give the raspy voice a question, I would like to cast Identify on the disc.
You want to ask it a question, or you want to cast Identify first?
Identify first.
Okay. As you cast Identify on this disc, you realize that as your hands are running over this carved archway, that this door, whatever being is connected to this door, you potentially, as you read from this door, can ask it 6 questions. It is clearly very much what you can figure out about it. It is called a black gate. As you realize this, you realize that this black gate not only leads somewhere to the far planes, but it is the creation of a giant aberration that had somehow come from it but also created it. The corruption around this area is stemming from whatever came from it. But whatever came from it that is connected to it, it is loose somewhere.
Mm-hmm. It's currently absent.
You don't know where it is, you don't know what the creature is, but what this gate's whole purpose is for is to basically act as a source to create some kind of disruption to the area.
And the 6 questions that can be asked, are they like, they don't have any specific criteria? It's just whatever questions come to mind and the answers to the best of its ability. It's not like, oh, here's just 6 omniscient answers to your questions kind of deal.
The questions act like you're casting the contact other plane spell. They are contacting whatever entity it is connected to. And chances are, judging where this is from and what it is connected to, it will give you contact with some kind of eldritch aberration. So, not omniscient. It is not like asking a god, but it is a mysterious extraplanar entity.
Wow. I guess the first thing Sebastian will do, though, is he'll take a moment to look inwards and see if he can get a sense of what question somebody else would like to ask. You know what I mean?
Okay.
While he's doing this, Rick's going to get out of the car and start looking around and see if he can see any tracks or anything that's... see if anyone's been here before us.
Climb out and roll me a survival.
I'm honestly surprised. Is Rick gonna look for Billy?
Sorry, what was that?
I said, is Rick gonna look for Billy?
Well, he's just going to see if there's been any humanoids here at the... Or anything
Okay.
been to the...
Okay. So you climb out. Yes, Rick, there are footprints everywhere. There have been people here. There have been animals here. There are weird footprints that look like large 3-clawed feet. And we're talking huge feet. Gargantuan feet. Whatever it belonged to, that creature was gargantuan.
Now,
in
are the
size.
tracks all going into the disc, or are they just going all over the place?
All over the place. The more deliberate ones that look like they were heavier in footfall, judging by the placement of the heel and toe, are going towards the disc. But there are ones that you can see where the toe is imprinted further, like running. You can see the scatter of dirt where, for example, if a deer has come through here and tried to dart away with hoof prints, it's kicked up the dirt, like it's not an even print. You can see that there is both panicked footprints, but also deliberate ones. Also, namely, the gargantuan footprints do seem to be travelling off, following the dark, decayed swathe towards the northeast. They seem to be heading off through the forest there, but along with that, you do seem to notice more humanoid footprints heading in the same direction.
Yeah, did those large feet come from the disc, or do they look like they
Yes.
went just past it?
No,
They came from the disc.
They came from the disc.
Folks, something come from that disc.
From the disc that Sebastian's currently standing on.
Yeah.
So we should find a way to disable this disc, right?
Might be a good option in case something else wants to come through.
Hey,
Sebastian!
Sebastian.
Okay. You
Yeah,
go.
Sebastian, is there any instructions on the disc on what's going on? Like, do you have any idea what the fuck's happening here?
Yeah, Sebastian will turn around to the calls and call back a bit. Yeah, I think I'm getting a little bit closer to the answers of what's going on here.
But we need to shut it down.
I know. Give me a moment.
When he says, I know, this is like a weird call. But can I do an insight check on the I know?
Sure.
I know it's probably nothing, but I just had a feeling. Where's my insight? Oh, it's right there where it always is. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, he knows what he's talking about, I guess.
He knows. He's so brave.
Seems legit.
He's so cool and awesome. He walked up to it like it was nothing. Wow. But yeah, they'll turn back to face it.
Yep.
This particular question, I want it quiet enough so other people don't hear. But the first question Sebastian will ask is, how do I get him his body back?
Do you ask it verbally or do you ask it telepathically?
I mean, my telepathy usually needs something to connect with, so
This door feels like it has a consciousness. That I will straight up say that.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, then it'd be telepathically, so there's no misinterpretations.
Yeah. So your voice in the thoughts seems to take on this echoey quality as you reach out and ask how to get him his body back. And you hear this deep, rattly breath come in response. You must find the discs. His body will be shown once you have his mind.
Does he keep his word?
Again, there's a pause as there is a breath. He is order and law, and therefore will follow the word of the law.
And he's kept his word. What's he gonna do?
Balance.
Would closing this interrupt getting him his body back?
That is unknown. As many seek to control his mind.
On this occasion, he's like, this thing's telling me discs. I was told before coins. Is that interchangeable, or is this two different pieces of information?
They say coin. Coin could be a disc. It could be. It is. This is one of those areas where you realize language can kind of be transferable. They could be saying coin. They could be meaning a disc, because that's all a coin is. It could be a token. It could be a monetary thing. But yeah.
And would Sebastian know/think that this is like what he's standing on is the disc, quote unquote, or it's a different object that's?
How would you know that?
Hmm.
It could be this disc. It could be another disc. For those of you who are watching while you're considering your question, Sebastian, Blake, as you've gotten closer behind Sebastian, you've started to notice his shadow seems to be lengthening behind him.
More fucking shadow people? What is it with these people and the shadow people?
This shadow is large. It is not a person's shadow. It seems to be reaching out from him like a darkening mist, a swirling sphere fear almost of shadow that's reaching out behind him and growing larger, slowly starting to fill this space behind him.
Damn it, I come to check on my buddy and I get pulled into more ghost shadow shit. Is that deep in thought?
Well, Sebastian, as you are deep in thought thinking of questions, you start to become aware. Roll me a wisdom save.
Oh, I'm doing that. I've asked 4 questions, yeah.
Yep, 4 questions, that's fine. Still have 2
Oh.
left.
Also, a question about the inspiration. Is that advantage or reroll?
Inspiration is advantage.
Okay.
Okay. Sebastian, you become aware that as you are asking these questions, those hooks in your chest have been growing deeper and deeper as you have become aware of the voice that you couldn't hear, or there was whatever you were talking to that this gate is connected to was blocking your voice from within, and just on the edges of your awareness you start to hear a voice trying to reach you, calling out warning. You feel these large tendrils trying to wrap around you, trying to pull you away from this door. As Blake, as you're watching this shadow reach out, wrapping around Sebastian, you watch as he vanishes.
Sebastian's gone! I will make the last dash to step on the fucking coin where he was then.
Wait, why? What?
Where'd he go?
I
Well, we have
don't
to
know
go-
where he went. He was here 1 minute, then the Shadow Man took him.
I will run up and peer.
There is a gate with a large stone, weathered black stone door. It appears to be about a foot thick, and it is covered in this alien script.
I think maybe the only way to close this door is from the other side. And I step through.
Oh, you're going to try and step through?
No.
You want to step?
Oh, wait, unless the DM is like really like.
Okay, you want to
good
step through
about
the
that.
gate. You want to step
This
through the
is
gate.
your opportunity to say, "Are you sure?"
Chess
hang on.
pieces.
Wait. Wait a second. This is a.
Breeze says she steps through.
Yep.
I
Ray
was
said-
wait, yeah, but also I was enthusiastic briefly, just like fine, fuck it, I stepped through. I said
Okay,
it's
you
fine.
step through. Roll me a wisdom save.
Oh, God.
So I can
Uh-oh.
I will use my DM's inspiration so I can get advantage.
Okay.
No, it's not my DM inspiration. It was my inspiration from the stream. Thank
Gifted
you.
inspiration.
I'm glad I inspired her to do something dumb.
I have low wisdom, so this is great roleplay actually. Natural
Low
fucking
wisdom
20.
or just high
Okay.
impulse?
No, that's fine.
Oh,
Breeze.
oh my god, thank you so much for that advantage.
You step through the gate, Breeze, and appear on the other side, and realize that you're still in the central area on the brass coin.
Can you not do that fucking again, please, Breeze? Walk around the gate.
Maybe I need to. Huh. Can I try and use message? Can I point in the direction of the gate and just try to message Sebastian and just be like,
You can certainly try.
Excuse me, terrible decision coming through. I walk through the gate and I willingly fail.
I knew you were going to do that.
Hasa vanishes.
You could have at least waited until after my message. Oh.
Hasa
Haas is
vanishes.
gone. I'm gone too. Fuck's sake. Come on, Breeze.
Oh,
Come
Hell
on,
is
Breeze.
it with these people and going in?
I'm
Okay.
at the back of my mouth. Will my mouth come with me if I fly through?
Why are you all like this?
You could have
You
said,
said-
"Are you sure?"
You sent my best buddy through.
You never said, "Are you sure?" Are you sure is DM speak for don't fucking do this.
Anyway,
To do this is simply what you want to do. We were trying to be good players.
Rick Haas has gone too now. It's all turning to shit.
okay.
Hey, people.
Okay, so Blake, you go through and vanish too, fail too.
Yeah. If Haas is gone, I look at Breeze and I say, "Sorry, love," and I step through.
I knew
You
it
watch
was
as
never
Blake
my fault.
vanishes as you and Rick are left standing there.
Rick, we have to, right? We can't just leave them.
As you are discussing whether you're going to go through, Sebastian, you find yourself gripped by this dark, inky-like ichor as you feel yourself falling and tumbling through this subspace until eventually your feet find solid ground. All around you is shadow. You can barely see, but there are walls made of this inky cosmic blackness. There is a wall either side of you, but nothing but darkness before you and behind you. There is nothing to see but darkness and the walls on either side of you. As you look further, you notice that same cosmic blackness seems to cap the end about 60 feet away. As you look behind you, it stretches further past you, but you notice that there seems to be in the wall behind you, about 45 feet away, there seems to be another darkened passage off to one side to the left.
And that's the only thing that's in here?
Yes, that is all that's in there that you can see. There appears to be no ceiling, but you can feel what appears to be solid ground underneath your feet.
All right. I'll stride through the passage.
Okay. You start striding through the passage. You going forwards or backwards?
You said it was behind me, yeah?
You can go forward or backwards. All I said is in front of you there appears to be something capping a wall, but there appears to be something capping a wall, but that could be a corner, it could be an end, it could be a dead end.
I have no idea what you mean by capping a corner.
As in, it looks like there's a wall at the end of it, basically.
Well, I guess I'll go forward to check that out then. If that looks like a dead end, then backwards.
Okay, so you go check out the dead end. As you approach, you realize to the right of it is another passageway. It seems to have another one of these dark corridors that leads onwards, but as you had noticed behind you, there are one or two places, as you notice, to be passageways leading off to the left and right. Sorry, keep going.
No, go. What were you gonna say?
No, keep going.
Oh, gonna take the right one.
Okay. As you take the right one and you continue to follow it, you start to notice there's another right-hand corner.
Okay. Should I be drawing a map?
You follow this right-hand corner, come to another right-hand corner, to another right-hand corner until you find a dead end. As you reach the dead end, I need a wisdom saving throw, please. Okay. All good.
Can I cast spells in here?
You can certainly try.
Well, I'll try to cast resistance.
Okay. You can do so.
Right? If I've come to a dead end and there's nothing here, then I'll go back until the left passage appeared and then take the left passage.
Okay, as you take a left passage. As you take the left passage and find that it is another straight, behind you, you hear the sound of rustling. As there is a heavy thump that lands on the path behind you. After a second, there's a secondary thump as first Hasa lands and then Blake.
Ugh. Do you guys not know what the meaning of Keep Watch is?
You vanished.
Yeah, it kind of loses its point when someone travels between planes.
We didn't know what was on the other side of this thing. It could have been a forest for all we knew. That's why I'm here.
No, you didn't know what was on the other side of this thing, and you've jumped into it.
One in, all in, buddy.
Blake, we're currently in a plane that could rend your mind asunder and turn you into a drooling fool that writes on the walls with his own shit.
Ah, in for a nickel, in for a dime. Let's go.
This is very much not a place either of you should be.
Like you
Same
gatekeeping
goes for yourself.
the tragedy zone.
I'm much better equipped to being in this environment, Hasa.
Yeah.
You're joking, right? From what you told me, you've hardly stepped outside of Seeker's Respite.
You're from Seeker's Respite?
Yeah.
That's just wants to Blake for a moment and just say psychically, like, to Hasa, I'm a Kalishtar. We are raised our entire lives to fortify our minds to ensure that we can, as they say, send our minds drifting to be in situations like this. And then out loud, you two there's no doorway behind them, is there?
There is no doorway behind them. It was like they fell out of nothingness.
You two didn't convince the others to jump in here as well, did you?
I didn't say anything about it.
It depends on how much Breeze loves us.
Just to be clear, you did see Breeze try to go through once and come back out the other side.
Oh, we did
could
see
say that.
Breeze try to follow you, but for some reason the door rejected her.
And something
Is that
she's
really
not
ridiculous?
good at.
Here's to you three. Just alright. Stick close. And don't do or touch anything.
What happens if we touch things?
Who knows? Blake.
I run my finger along the wall.
Wait, why are you like this?
That's
Sorry.
fine. He can do this. You run your finger across the wall. It feels cold, not like a normal cold, like a burning cold, as if your hand itself has traversed into the outer regions of space beyond the reaches of a sun. Your fingertips feel numb at instant touch, Blake, as all your fingers that touch the wall immediately turn black.
Awesome.
You can't move them anymore.
Why am I like this?
For intents and purposes, you have just killed your fingers.
Lovely.
I need to stop gasping. I've gasped like 20 times a session. I was feeling.
Well,
We haven't heard one of them, so
Sebastian is cool as a cucumber with his sunglasses on, just looking at the two of you, seeing Blake do that, and turning around and continuing down the left passage.
Okay. As you continue down the passageway, you get to a left-hand turn. It continues on to another straight. You do see two passages leading off to the right. Both of them at intervals, one at about 30 feet, one at about 45, and at the end you see one veering off to the left.
And the other two are following?
No, it's the left, left, and right at the end.
And Blake are following, or are they just waiting at the entrance?
yeah, no, following you.
Right. Turns one quarter, immediately loses them. Gets leashes on.
Are
They
you
can still
going
top the
straight?
leashes.
Are you going straight, or are you taking any of the corridors?
So you said two to the right, one to the left, one
Two to
that's
the left,
30 feet
one
on,
to the
so
right.
You switched directions.
Okay, sorry about that. I thought I said two to left, one to right, but okay.
does
This is
Cure
a
Wounds do anything?
Pardon?
Does Cure Wounds do anything if it cast at second level?
It does not.
Motherfucker.
I'm going to attempt to use a piece of chalk and mark the wall, carefully and trying not to touch the wall with my skin.
You're able to touch the wall.
Alright, I'm going to mark the wall with arrows as we go in the direction we're going.
So do you take any of the corridors, or are you heading straight?
I'm gonna just take them one at a time. That's 30 foot away, and follow that.
Okay, you take the first right. As you turn the corner, Hasa and Blake, I need you to both wait. I need you all to make me wisdom saves. Actually, sorry.
Even everybody, even us outside.
No, not
We
outside.
could-
Yep, exactly. Everyone
Okay.
dies. Nope, don't know why I double clicked that, but that's an 11.
Sebastian, you're good. You feel fine. Yep, you.
I feel fine.
However,
How do you guys feel?
He
Hasa,
knows he's fine.
as you are drawing on this wall, you feel a sensation come over you that the two people that are with you, no matter what happens, you have to keep them here, even if that means killing them. Blake, this same feeling, these people are clearly harmful to the master of this place.
So wait, hold on. So I believe that there is now a master entity that wants me to do something.
You have been charmed to believe that the two people that are with you mean harm to the master of this place.
Well, I really gave up on my god really quick there, didn't I?
Hasa does too. Sebastian, you're fine.
So wait, am I feeling like they're a danger, or am I feeling like they need to be kept here? Like, that sounds like two different commands.
They are a danger to the master of this place and therefore must be kept here,
Okay.
even if that means just their bones remain. As both of you are under the effect of Charm Person.
Lovely. Hey, Bastion, you sure you want to leave?
Don't call me that.
Yeah, but are you sure that you want to go? There's going to be a lot of answers in here, surely.
And a lot of ample research opportunities.
Yeah, that's a good... Yeah, Hasa, there's heaps of stuff to explore in here. Heaps of... I'm sure we can make you a potion.
Yeah.
Well, two of you need to get out of here as quickly as possible. I, on the other hand, was looking for the answer to this place. Now I'm babysitting.
You really don't like us, do you?
Not the most friendly of dispositions since we've left the islands.
We could sit down and talk about it.
Really don't have time to be sitting down talking about things.
We've got nothing but time. What's the
Yeah,
worst that's
not
going to
like-
happen?
Yeah. Doesn't seem like this place is going anywhere.
And, like, really, do you think we're going anywhere? It's just a maze down here. Like, just sit, let's chat. I'm sure... I don't know. Other people may be along soon, and then we can work it out from there. Why don't we wait around?
Well, we want to get out of here before the other two decide to jump in as well.
There's also Crisis asleep in the back seat. He might wake up.
Now, Sebastian has like a +6 in space. A +6 insight as a base.
Yeah.
So does he would he passively feel something wrong?
Well, considering this place feels like death and hell and the worst places of the far plains with everything that you've found out, them wanting to potentially stay here sounds fucking weird. Yeah. So them like, yeah, we should totally stay here. That's not the correct feeling to be feeling with this, from what your knowledge of the far plains is. That's never a good thing.
All right. Sebastian's going to pick up the pace. So this right-hand turn came to another dead end, and then wisdom save.
Yes.
Okay, so now the 45 got one. Then.
Yep. So you backtrack and you head down the next right-hand corridor. As you go down the right-hand corridor, you notice that it reaches a T-junction at the end.
Take the right passage.
Okay, you take the right passage. Very quickly, it has another right-hand turn. As you turn, you see it's another long corridor, this time with 3 left-hand turns. With 3 left-hand turns at spaced at intervals of 20 feet.
I might have something that can help us here, you know? He reaches into his backpack. Ah, yeah, here we go. He's going to pull out 2 mushrooms that look like sort of puffball mushrooms. Crush these, inhale them, they should help.
With what?
With navigating this place.
I mean, it's not a matter of it's just a place we've never been to before. It's we're going to have to systematically search it.
Of course. And I'm saying these will help. See, you just crush it. And he kind of crushes one of these puffball mushrooms in his hand. And then you inhale it. And I'm going to blow it into Blake's face.
You blow it into Blake's face.
as I crush a Zabo mushroom into your face, which requires a DC 10 con save.
I hate my life. Oh,
Cool, he's not poisoned. Never mind. You're a little itchy.
I'm good. Why don't you take a puff yourself, so we have an extra set of navigational eyes.
Of course.
And he's going to continue to check each left as they come.
oh, for the love of God. Oh, surely that's enough wisdom. What do you mean it's not?
Blake rolled an 18.
You can't kill half of the party here.
Sure we can.
I mean, we're about to.
There was no "are you sure," so there was no guarantee that this would be a death sentence.
But it's not even about death. It's there's never coming out of here.
Yeah, no, we're fine.
Ugh,
This is
okay.
now descent into Avernus.
It's all Gucci here, according to Hasa. He'll tell you. Just ask.
Yeah, it's great.
I don't get why people pronounce it Avernus. Avernus seems so much more natural.
Fuck's sake. Cool. 16 points, you said?
Mm-mm.
Cool. Cool.
So what's the difference between wisdom and intelligence again? Which one's book smart, one's street smart?
Yeah, street
Yeah,
smart is
we're-
wisdom.
Yeah, like
It's intelligence and charisma, you said?
this is an out of character question. Yeah. Yeah. So intelligence is like I can read real good, and I know the formulas and the chemical composition, and insight is like something off about that guy. I don't know. He doesn't sit right with me.
Really, really, really glad I didn't cast Protect from Good and Evil earlier. That would have been nice.
Hmm. Sebastian.
All of us are considered Fae.
Yeah, I presume so. Like, he's not. I don't have the Fey ancestry, because you said specifically that people from Seeker's Respite didn't have that.
Well, no. Tegan gave me the option. You can choose to be Fae ancestry.
Oh, I was told I couldn't.
Oh, okay. Right. Kalishtar. Yep. Isolationist. Yeah. Yeah. Oh shit! If
Why
that's
can you blame
what's
them?
going
That's
on
so
here,
hard.
then I have. No, just him. Okay. Cool. Okay.
Okay. Sure. No, I don't. I push them away. Hi.
And you realise you're still in a dream because nobody can be this beautiful in real life. Okay.
Arthur and I choke on our tongues and die.
It's happened more times than I care to admit.
Oh no.
You've choked on your own tongue and died.
No, other people because I'm so.
Yeah, no.
great.
She got better. She got better. Yeah.
She had some copium.
Maya must still be within that dream realm because you certainly are a dream.
God damn it.
Look, it works. Rick, is there anything we can? I will alert Rick, and I will. I don't have any kind of counter spell or anything. I'm just trying to think if I have anything though. Spells. But I will just shout, Rick, come and look at this.
Are they okay?
No. Can I cast command on them and be like, don't stop being weird?
Don't stop being weird. Okay.
No, it's a one word thing as well, like, so I can't do that. Do I see Sebastian though? Sebastian, what the fuck happened? Why are they drooling?
Well, while I was investigating the disc, I managed to get drawn into it.
If you're going to disappear, you should tell people that though, because of course we're going to come after you.
It was a bit spur of the moment, but I had assumed you were all going to continue keeping watch. Then
Why would we do that when you disappeared? You can't put this on us.
Look what happened last time. They all jumped on moths and disappeared.
And yes, true, it worked out great that time. Well, because there's no guarantee it's always going to work out great.
well, I wouldn't have done it that way if I didn't have confidence that I'd be fine. But apparently these two decided to follow me, and
Does Sebastian look fine? Can I roll an insight? God, every fucking time.
he's an
Oh,
enigma.
you do seem okay.
And these two, the realm we got drawn into requires those that have very strong mind, and these two were not prepared for what they encountered,
I'm just
and
gonna.
appear to be in a state.
I'm gonna look at Rick, and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, Rick, can I sidebar with you for a second?"
Sure.
Okay. And so I will pull Rick aside and be like, Rick, they all went through a weird portal. Sebastian comes back fine, bragging about his intelligence, and they're drooling.
You reckon he did
Like,
something to him?
I don't know. Like, I mean, I looked at him and he seems fine. He seems okay. So he's not troubled or disturbed. He's fine. I just don't. I think something's not right here, and I'm scared. And you, you seem to have a lot of experience. I mean, there's granny murders that you told us about. You're cool under pressure, and I'm less so. Maybe.
Is there anything we can do to restore them? They look like morons. More than
I don't
normal.
even know what's wrong with them. Can I do like an Arcana check or anything to see what's wrong with them? Nailed it.
They seem to be bespelled by something.
They seem to be bespelled by something, right? But I don't know how to
Can we
untie
slap
this
them?
knot. You can slap them. Yeah.
By the way, by the actual nature of what you can do, you can identify your friends, you can follow them, you can even protect them. You just can't speak, cast spells, anything like that. So you can literally follow them around and stuff. You just can't tell them anything.
Cool.
Let's go play in traffic.
Well, as we
You
are...
can. Okay.
I'll walk up
Okay.
and I'll signal Blake to lean down to me. Lean down.
Yeah, of course. You signaled for me.
Smack across the face.
Will it work?
I don't know.
I like to think that you slapped Blake, and because he didn't resist at all, he just keeled over.
I'm dead now, thanks.
Rick, this is an ailment of the mind. It's not going to be fixed with a slap.
It was fixed by a slap.
You can't speak, right?
No, he can't speak.
Great.
That was me to God.
Might we get a little bit away from the dice for a little bit while we assess them and reorient ourselves?
Sebastian, that suggestion that you felt that you must find the behemoth, it's telling you to follow northeast.
Okay.
It is suggesting to you that you have to go northeast.
But it's suggesting?
Yeah.
You are under the suggestion spell, for the record.
Okay, I mean, I already had plans to follow what I believe to be, assumed to be the behemoth anyway.
Yep, which is fine.
Yeah.
So,
It wouldn't override this current situation, would it? Like, Sebastian's still coherent enough to be like, yeah, I'm going to take care of things here, but I'm going to...
No, you are. It is an immediate, I have to go northeast, like under the suggestion spell.
Okay.
Yeah. And on a failed save, you pursue the course of action that is to the best of your ability, basically.
All right. Leg, get up. Up you get. That's it. Follow me. To Arthur. Come on, let's go. Follow me.
I love the fact that as you tie a vine to Blake like a helium balloon to lead him around, that is where we will end this session. Everybody gets to level up. Well done.
Yay!
Beautiful end.
So next week when we come back, we will see what happens to the group, I guess. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you to everybody who managed to watch to the end. Thank you to everybody who watches this in post. It's always great to have you here. If you want to catch more of this, you can catch us next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Otherwise, I'll see you throughout the week for playing games and other things. I hope you are drinking plenty of water, looking after yourself. We will see you all next week. And I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world. And we will see you later.
Get wrecked.
Bye.
Bye.